Hello! Welcome back to Expansive Astrology Academy. Today is a very special lesson on how to set intentions that will actually manifest. And today I'll probably use the words intentions and manifestations and even mantras kind of interchangeably, just so you know. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the do's and the don'ts of how to set your intentions, because in Expansive Astrology, I'm going to ask you to set intentions at least for every new moon and every full moon. And for me personally, I set intentions every single morning, like almost immediately after I get out of bed. And mantras are something that you should return to every moment that you think of it, right? So this is very important stuff. It's incredibly foundational for all of the other work that you're going to be doing in expansive astrology and just in your mindset work in general, in your path toward healing and realizing your dreams, making your dreams come true. This kind of work is everything. It's gonna be really, really helpful in like supporting you in getting what you want. What I'm going to lay out for you is what is going to like help you co-create what you want with the universe. So, no big deal, right? No, just kidding. Very big deal. This is very big work. So, buckle in, get comfortable. I have a pink drink, which I never knew what a pink drink actually was. Delicious. So good. Okay, so I have 3 big rules and at least 2 cautions when it comes to setting the manifestation, setting your intentions. And I think I'm going to start with the big don'ts first, the big cautions, the cautionary tales. So the first thing that you need to know about setting intentions is that you should not listen to anybody, not even me. There's no right way to do this, okay? Like, you can't really do it wrong. There are definitely some things that you want to keep in mind, and there are some guidelines. But as far as like my practice is my practice, and your practice is your practice, and it's a very personal, spiritual thing when you're setting intentions. And you'll hear a lot of people out there giving you like formulas and telling you how specific you should or shouldn't make it, and they're all well-meaning, absolutely, and there's really no right way to do this. You know, there are some people who say you have to burn your intentions of what you want to release. I don't agree. I don't think you have to burn a piece of paper. That can be really like symbolic, and like it can mean a whole lot to burn a piece of paper of things that you want to release, and it doesn't need to be a rule. So like, don't listen to anybody else. You write your own rules on how this looks for you. Not even me. Like, I will share with you some details on how this looks for me and what mine look like, and obviously I'm sharing with you like my 3 big guidelines so that you can like get the most out of your manifestations. And there are no rules. And I know for myself, and I hear this from my clients, that there's like this sense of pressure or this sense of like having to do it right that like keeps us from putting pen to paper. And even I was there like last month. I kind of put off writing my full moon intentions for like 3 days last month. And the longer you put it off, the more excuses your brain comes up with to just like put it aside altogether, right? And I'm glad that I was like, oh, silly brain. Nay, brain. I'm not going to put this aside. Like, it is not too late. Like, even if I don't know exactly what I want, or I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to articulate it, I'm going to sit down and write it out, because even though I'm late and even though I don't know what I'm going to say, I know that as a rule, there's no right or wrong way to do this. So I'm going to fucking do it. And honestly, those intentions that I wrote that night, it was like one of the most powerful experiences I've ever had journaling. Like, I closed my book and took a couple deep breaths because it was beautiful what came out of me. And here's why. It's because I was able to give my thinking mind a break and just settle in and sink in. And like, I was like, well, I don't know what I'm going to write, but I need to fucking do it. I'm not sure what I want this time. I don't know what I want to release right now, but I put pen to paper and I started writing, and it was wonderful. So like really reminding myself that there's no right or wrong way to do it gave me courage, and then it ended up being so potent, and I was able to give my thinking mind a break and let my soul speak. So, remind yourself of that. You get to create what this looks like for you. My second big caution is, and I'll share a little bit more later about how to do this, but you want to be really careful about the things that you're asking for. So I'll share more about this later, but you don't want to ask for things like, I lost my pen. You don't want to write things like, I want to be more patient. Please, universe, help me be more brave. Be careful about how you phrase these things. Be careful what you wish for. If you ask for patience, baby, the universe is going to test your patience and give you plenty of opportunities to exercise your patience and to show up with more patience. If you ask for bravery, the universe is going to put you in situations that test your courage and test your bravery. That's what you're asking for, right? If what you want, what you seek, you have to kind of earn. You have to prove that it's what you want. I kind of think our brain is here to keep us safe and stable. Our brain becomes hypervigilant or goes into fight or flight. Like, our brain is here to keep us safe, stable, secure, and the same. Comfortable, the same, right where we are. Because the brain, like, can handle where we are, right? Our soul, on the other hand, our soul is in this existence to expand and play and explore and be free and play, right? Our soul wants to travel and flow and have sex and eat chocolate, whatever. You know, our soul wants to have fun and explore and up level and expand. That's what our soul is here to do. It's kind of opposing forces. So when we're writing intentions, you want to both tend to the brain and give it a break. Yeah? Let me take a sip. Now, because our soul likes to expand and grow, the way that we grow is by being resilient, by learning things, and usually we only learn the hard way, right? We grow by overcoming challenges and by excelling through obstacles and portals. That's how we grow. So you want to be really careful about how you phrase your intentions, because if you say something like, I would like more patience, please, your soul and the universe is going to be like, ooh, okay, like, let's see what we can do to test your patience. Because if what you want is more patience, I'm going to show you how to get it. But sometimes that's no fun. It's kind of scary. It's no fun. And it's not, like, there's an easier way. And not to say that we won't still be tested, but like, there's an easier way. There's an easier way. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful how you phrase it. All right. So going into my 3 big rules. And I don't love the word rules because it sounds so... because that's not how I mean it. But these things should absolutely be taken into consideration, and these should be like your guidelines. And I think it'll really make sense of why. So I'm just going to hop right into it. The first is to remember that your mind doesn't understand negatives. Your mind does not understand negatives. So if your desire, I'm going to keep it like pretty basic. If your desire is to stop eating cake, I want to stop eating so much cake. I want to stop eating sweets and candy. I eat way too much candy and I know it's really bad for me. And I know it has this impact on my health and that impact on my health and it's bad, bad, bad. And I want to stop eating cake. The brain, even though like the desire might be so strong, like even if your health is in jeopardy and like all you want to do is this thing, whatever it is, and even if it feels like an absolute soul yes, all the brain hears is cake. Bad, bad, bad. Diabetes, blood sugar, fat. Like that's what the brain hears. The brain doesn't hear, I don't want cake anymore. I'm done with cake. The brain just hears cake. Like the brain is basic. It's kind of, all due respect, brain, you're kind of simple. You're kind of dumb up there. So like you got to be really careful rather than using all those negatives of I don't want cake, or I don't want to be single, or I don't want to be angry anymore, or I don't want to be let's see, what's the example? I want to overcome self-doubt. Even phrasing it like that. I want to overcome self-doubt. All your brain hears is cake, sugar, fat, self-doubt, single. That's what your brain hears. So you want to phrase it very carefully and use that to your advantage and phrase your manifestations with what you do want. No negatives, just positives. So that you can give your brain a picture of what it's striving for. So instead of I don't want cake, you're going to think I do want grapes. I'm going to eat a lot more apples these days. You want to think like my body's healthy. You want to think things like, instead of maybe I don't want to be single anymore. Excuse me. You want to think I attract positive people into my life. I put myself out there. Those are good alternatives. Instead of, I want to overcome self-doubt, you say something like, yeah, I want to have confidence in myself. I want to believe in myself. Right? So it's a very important shift. You want to, and the vibrations are even, like, the way you say it and the way, at least for me, the way, like, it feels, the way I sit into that is different. If rather than I don't want to be single anymore, I hate being single, I don't want to be single, and you can be writing all of the intentions and be wishing and wanting and want. I know I was there with this sort of thing, and just not understanding why you're still so alone. Oh my God, and all the losers that come in and out of play. Like, if where attention goes, energy flows. I don't know where that first came from. But when you're really stuck in that kind of mindset of like, all I ever come into contact with are losers and nobody ever stacks up and I don't want to be single anymore and things like that. Really like low vibe. It's very like dampened energy. But when you shift into what you do want and it's not that I want a hot boy and I want a husband and I want to get married. It's got to be something that you can marry an action to. So it's got to be phrased with like positive in a positive way. And it's got to be something that you can, I don't want to say control, because the how of it, and we're going to get into this, the how of it doesn't matter. So like even if what you do want is a husband, your thinking brain's going to be like, ooh, but how do we get a husband? I have to do this, that, and the other. And we want to give your thinking mind a break here, right? We're just talking to the soul when we're talking intentions and manifestations. So the thinking mind is sitting in the back seat, right? The soul is driving here. So rather than manifesting a boyfriend or a partner, you want to manifest what you can bring into the world. That's how it's going to be most potent. And that's how the universe is that's like the definition of co-create, right? With the universe. Like you've got to do something too. So if you manifest things like let's see, there are positive people in my life. I am open to positive people entering my life. I'm open to having more friends. I'm open to putting myself out there. Things like I have the confidence to put myself out there, you know. Things like that are going to get you much further. Okay, so I hope that I've hit everything about that I need to. If not, I'll come back around to it. And let me know if you have any questions. My second rule, or guideline, recommendation, suggestion, loving invitation, is to state your intentions, your manifestations, as though they are already true and happening in the present. So when you say things like, and I kind of touched on this in the mindset lesson, but if you say things like, I will be confident, I will have friends, I will feel more aligned, you know, whatever it is, that gives your brain, that gives your brain an out. It gives you an excuse to still be where you are and to be working on it, right? So what you want to say it as though it's already happened, as though it's already true. So rather than, so we've already adjusted from I don't want cake to I will eat apples. We can make that even stronger by bringing it to the present. And now, technically, bringing that to the present would be like, I'm eating apples. And that's silly. Like, your brain can't get on board with that. You can't get on board with that. It's ridiculous. You're not eating apples all day, every day. Like, that's not the strongest. So here's where you might want to tweak it so that it feels like not ridiculous and so that it feels realistic in the present. So saying something like, I am healthy. I eat healthy foods. I eat fruits. I feed myself this way, whatever way. You want to say it as though this already exists within you and this is already your reality, because that gives your brain no choice but to start today, right now. As of today, I eat fruit. As of today, I am healthy. And that means being healthy, right? You can say, I am health. Where attention goes, energy flows. So this gets a little stickier with things like chronic illness, right? And oh my God, it breaks my heart. Like, people who suffer from chronic illness are so resilient, the epitome of resilience, so strong. And I think mindset can't necessarily erase illness. And I think there's a lot to be said for if your narrative, if you're frequently saying things like, I'm chronically ill, I'm always in pain, where attention goes, energy flows. So if you rephrase that to like, I'm feeling well right now, I'm as healthy as I can be, today is a hard day, right? So it's not about being delusional or ignoring the truth of the matter and ignoring the pain of the matter, but it's how you say it. You can say it in a way that is empowered and empowering in the moment, or in a way that indicates that this moment is fleeting and that if I am in pain or feeling unwell right now, I can also be open to the fact that in the next moment, maybe tomorrow, or I don't know when. That's not for the brain to decide, but I'm going to set intentions of I feel as healthy as I can. I take care of my body. My body takes care of me. I feel at home in my body. I think those sorts of intentions are really important, because you also, here's an unofficial rule. that I remind myself of all the time when I find myself in some disempowered thinking or energy. I remind myself of this like musing, this wondering of what if every thought I had, every thought that flitted across my brain had the potential to come true? What if every thought I had the potential to come true? So when I'm feeling really disempowered and thinking things like, oh, it's always going to be this way and it always has been this way and things are really awful, even if that pain can be really, really real, and I can sit with that pain and be with that pain, right? And it's important to shift the narrative and shift the where my attention is, and remind myself that this is momentary, and remind myself of my intention of I am strong. My intention of I overcome difficulties. I always have my own back, and I'm always proud of myself. Like those sorts of intentions can really get you through. I hope this is resonating. The last guideline I have is to make your intentions specific yet broad. So you kind of broaden your intentions in order to make them more specific. Here's my example. Okay, so if you're seeking job stability, reasonable thing to seek, you'd like to make $60K a year, right? And that's what you're manifesting. And maybe you even have an idea of the dream job, like, and you've been dreaming of this forever, and you know exactly what you want to do and exactly what you want it to look like and exactly who you want to work for, all of it. And I believe in you that you can manifest that. And by making it so specific, you might be cheating yourself for two reasons. The first one is that your brain doesn't always know exactly what's best for you. Your brain doesn't have dreams for you for no reason. Your brain doesn't have an image or a dream of what your future could look like. Your brain wouldn't be like giving you that kind of fire just to torment you. Like if you can dream it, it can occur for you. Believe that. Like if you have an image of what your life can look like, it's not there for no reason. You can get there. And your thinking brain doesn't always know what's best for you. Not exactly. Maybe not the details, right? On a soul level, you have dreams and goals and aspirations, and you know like what you want to feel like, but your thinking brain doesn't always know. So if you get super specific of I want this job and I want to make $60K a year and I want to impact this many people and have this many kids and la la la, it's ultimately limiting your access to the universe. And if your thinking brain is wrong or off about what is meant for you, there's just going to be blockages to those manifestations happening for you. So you want to make your manifestations a little more broad. That way you can get what you want in specific. And here's what I mean. So instead of saying, I will sign 20 clients this year and make $60,000, whatever, I don't know what kind of job is in this example. You want to take that a step further in your mind and evaluate what will having that bring. Is the point to have financial freedom? Is the point to experience passion in your work? Is the point to make an impact on this person or this population or whatever? Like, why do you want those things so badly? Why do you want a boyfriend so badly? What will that bring you? Will it bring you a sense of accomplishment? Will it bring you a sense of self-worth? Will it bring you freedom and a sense of abundance and the ability to travel? That is shit that your soul can respond to. when you're saying to your soul, like, I want to have this job, it's not the, I don't think our souls get very jazzed about that sort of thing. But if you are saying, like, I want to experience abundance and freedom and passion, your soul in the universe is like, okay, fuck yeah, and let's do it. So be careful about how specific your manifestations are, because you don't want to cut yourself off from anything that your brain can't even fathom, because it can be even better than you've ever known. Then it can be even better than you've dreamed of. You don't know. Who are you to say that you know what is possible for you? You don't fucking know what's possible for you. So, yeah, those are my guidelines. I think I'm going to wrap it up. For me, personally, I set intentions every morning. I write a quick page of intentions every morning. And a lot of times that does look kind of thinking brainy. I'll kind of decide how I want to show up for my day. And sometimes it'll be kind of to-do list-y. And then where I really am careful and like more like ritualistic with my intentions are like with my mantras. So I really am careful to make sure I hit all of these guidelines with the mantras that I say to myself more frequently. And then with my new moon intentions and my full moon intentions. And briefly, because that is asked of you in expansive astrology, I'll touch on the difference between those. With the new moon, what we're doing is planting seeds. You're considering what you want to manifest over the next season and over the next 6 months, what you want to like be nurturing and like calling inward. Okay? And then with the full moon, with our full moon intentions, we're talking about what we want to release and like let out into the world. Now this gets tricky because you have to remember the rule about the negatives. And it's really common to I read it all the time with full moon intentions that go around on like Instagram and stuff. It's like, I release my need for control, and I release my fear of the unknown, and I release this, that, and the other. Remember, like, the brain doesn't understand those negatives. So the way I use like the releasing energy of the full moon with intentions is in a positive way. So things like, I release a sense of confidence into the world. Like, I kind of write intentions about what I want to be harvesting and showing in the world, what I want to be coming out of me. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. So instead of the things that I don't want anymore and the things that I'm kind of uninviting from my life, I'm more focused on what I want to be bringing into the world and what I want to be harvesting for myself. So I really hope this was helpful. Setting intentions and managing your mindset is, at first I was going to say it's everything, and it isn't necessarily everything. Like, well, it's kind of fucking everything. Like, you really have to have a really good handle on your relationship with your thinking brain and your relationship with your soul and the way that you help manifest that and co-create that in the world and in the universe. You know, it's so common, especially survivors of trauma, or just like, you know, oh my gosh, especially survivors of trauma, but just maybe anxious people in general, people who are commonly hypervigilant or in a fight or flight state. It's really common to stay in the brain and to have a really disconnected relationship between the brain and the heart. And I really believe that this sort of manifesting and this sort of intention setting is a very deliberate way of connecting your mind with your soul, with your heart. And then you're marrying that with an action. You're marrying that with your hands and how you're going to show up in the world. And if you ask me, marrying your head with your heart, with your hands, is the key. It's everything. So I commend you for being here. I commend you for this work you're going to do. Let me know. Let me know how this resonated for you. Let me know if this changes the way that you manifest things in your life. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take really good care of yourself. I'll see you later. Good luck. Happy manifesting. Cheers. Bye.